Weirdest exorcism stories ever happened. Number 1. Clara Germana Selle. In 1906, Clara Germana Selle, a 16-year-old Christian student living in South Africa, was purportedly controlled by an evil presence. Rumors from far and wide suggest that she made an agreement with Satan and, exceptionally before long, started to display indications of ownership. She could comprehend dialects like Polish and French, which she had no previous information on. Seriously upsetting, in any case, was the way that she would irregularly suspend, vertically or on a level plane, 1.5 meters, 5 feet, noticeable all around. She endeavored to stifle the minister who was playing out the expulsion on her to death, yet it finished in progress, and the cleric had the option to stop her manifestations. Number 2. Michael Taylor. Our next story starts in 1974. A formerly unassuming family man, Michael Taylor lived in England with his significant other and 5 kids. Apparently, this was an upbeat 1970s family unit. The entirety of that changed when Mr. Taylor joined a secretive church known as the Christian Fellowship Group, drove by an enchanting and delightful 21-year-old named Marie Robinson. Maria and Michael before long started getting to know one another, and in any event, driving faith gatherings where they would talk in tongues and exorcise assemblage individuals. Christine Taylor blamed her better half for having an unsanctioned romance with Marie, because of his non-attendances. This all finished in a 24-hour expulsion, after which the ministers, depleted and scared, professed to have eliminated everything except the evil presences of madness, outrage, and murder from the man's body. Not 2 hours after the fact, perhaps surpassed by these devils, conceivably not, he viciously and severely killed his better half and their canine. Christine's eyes and tongue were torn out. Michael was found on the road exposed and canvassed in blood. He was at last shipped off Broadmoor Hospital and has since invested energy all through mental wards and the court framework. If you like what you see, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Number 3. Emma Schmidt/Anna Eklund. Emma Schmidt, otherwise called Anna Eklund, is said to have been controlled by devils in the early long stretches of the 1910s. She was exorcised by the minister Father Riesinger, who might later turn into a productive exorcist. While her first episode of devilish belonging was restored effectively, it was her second expulsion in 1928, likewise performed by Father Riesinger, that was the most serious. The difficulty endured 23 days absolute, across meetings in August, September, and December. During this expulsion, her eyes remained shut the whole time, and she was mysteriously regurgitating what may have been macaroni and tea leaves, had she eaten anything. The exorcist asked the evil spirits inside Schmidt the number of there were. The reaction was that there were numerous, however, that they were driven by Beelzebub and that she had been reviled by her dad. Emma fiercely suspended toward the roof and clung there, talking in tongues and regurgitating the macaroni tea departs creation. The nuns in participation were shaken and unnerved, however they figured out how to limit her once more. Toward the finish of the 23 days, when Father Riesinger had been exorcising Emma for 3 days in a row, she unexpectedly shouted gestures of recognition to Jesus and God and was at last free. This is known as the first and last expulsion endorsed by the Catholic Church. Number 4. Julia. To make things simply a little creepier, this case is from 2008 and was performed and archived by Dr. Richard E. Gallagher of the New York Medical College. The patient, who stayed unknown for her well-being, was alluded to as just Julia. Julia had been in and out of satanic gatherings for quite a long time. She came to Dr. Gallagher, mentioning an expulsion and professing to be controlled by devils. While she was in her dissociative states, her voice would radically change to something throaty, far off, and manly. She would ramble put-downs and dangers and was explicitly nauseated by stripped and hallowed ancient rarities. She would make objects fly around the room and talked in tongues obscure to her. While Dr. Gallagher was initially incredulous about Julia being tormented with a genuine devilish belonging, her uncanny information on individuals in the mental group, and their families, for example, demise records and diseases, persuaded him in any case. Like most instances of devilish belonging, she likewise suspended and loudly manhandled the going-to nuns, attendants, and the remainder of the clinical group. Number 5. Arnie Cheyenne Johnson. This unbelievable case is from the mid-1980s and is otherwise called the Evil Spirit Murder Case or the Evil Spirit Murder Case. The episode being referred to happened in the town of Brookfield, Connecticut. Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, purportedly affected by a satanic belonging, executed his property manager Alan Bono on November 24, 1981. Johnson was 19 when he killed Bono by cutting him over and over in the chest. During the months earlier, Johnson was associated with an expulsion of his more youthful brother by marriage and apparently provoked an evil presence to have him rather than the 11-year-old kid. The safeguard attorney for the situation, Martin Minella, endeavored to utilize wicked belonging as a guard against the primary-degree murder allegation. Minella needed to fly expulsion experts in from Europe and summon the clerics associated with the first expulsion. Be that as it may, this safeguard was in the long run overruled following 15 hours of consultation, and Arnie Cheyenne Johnson was eventually indicted for first-degree murder.